the second one is if we did income, okay, we want to reset everything, go back to initial equilibriums, and then we want to shock it. Okay, so price shocks occur in different ways than income shocks. What income shocks do is they allow to buy both M and J, M and J. M goods lead to health, J goods lead to other stuff. A price shock, however, it depends on what you're talking about. So a price shock, prices can go up or down, and prices can be on health-related goods or other stuff. And generally, this is what's going to happen. If the price of X goes down, someone is going to substitute toward more X, and vice versa. If the price of X goes up, people are going to substitute away from X. Okay, so what could X be? X could be health-related stuff or non-health-related stuff. Okay, so let's look at specifically health. I'm going to call it M goods. Okay, if the price of M goods, health-related things, goes down, then what we'll do is our quantity of health-related things will go up. And what we should, if it's a proper health thing that leads us to more efficient use of health, we will see health rise. Okay? If, on the other hand, the price of these types of things go up, we will buy less of these things. So that's what the, okay, prices and quantities, that's what the Medicaid experiments showed, right? So people, when people got on Medicaid in Oregon, prices go down, they use more health care, and then in certain ways, their health improved a bit. Maybe not in a short time, that's not what they were able to show, but subjective mental health and things like that, it indicated that health would go up. We'd expect it to. And the vice versa is, if the price of health goes up, we will purchase less health goods. It will have a negative impact on health. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thank you, Charles. We'll get to that. I can go over a few of those in a minute. There's question about questions 11 through 15, I think in chapter 3, going over different graphs. I can cover one of those here in a minute. But let's go through, and I think there may be a price one here. Okay. So if price, so I want to go back to our model. And if price of health, let's say that price of health of a healthcare good is going down. Okay. If the price of a healthcare good is going down, then one thing that's going to happen is that well, let's start from production. Okay. Now, what's going on here is our income is staying, well, let's do this. This is going to be, it's not changing our income here. So we're not necessarily shifting a PPF, or we're not shifting our income graph here. Okay, so a change in price does not affect this. Okay, so income is based on our wages and our times to work. Okay, but this is our time trade-off. So the price of healthcare going down or a health good does not affect us there. What it does affect, however, is this. So the PPF is not created just by income. Okay. So income going up, it does have a PPF shift out. But also prices of healthy food going down, that's going to have a different PPF shift. Not towards, now it's not going to allow us to buy more Z goods, but it's going to have us shift more towards health. Okay, if the price of a healthy thing, of something related to health goes down, we're going to buy more of that. It's not affecting our ability to buy health stuff. Okay, so let's say our initial equilibrium here is here at 1 again. Let me change my color here so we can see it. My initial equilibrium is at 1. And let's say my shock now is the price of healthy related goods, or I should say M goods. M goods goes down. Okay. When the price of M goods goes down, I'm going to substitute toward health related activities. And I have ability to purchase more of these M related goods. Okay. So what's going to happen is I have some greater purchasing power overall. So some of my greater purchasing power could be shifted if the price of a gym membership goes down. Let's say it was $20 a month. Now it goes to $10 a month. And let's say I decide to buy a gym membership. I didn't have one before. So I'm now spending $10 on a gym membership. And, you know, I wasn't willing to put $20 into that because I was spending money on other stuff. Now I have a little bit of room to do both. Now I can do both these, the healthy activity, and I have some money to buy some other things too. Okay. So I could, I could shift some of that money into other things. Okay. But really the real effect here is that I can spend a lot more money on health. So my PPF doesn't shift out the same. My PPF shifts out more towards health. Okay. So with the lower price of M goods, I'm shifting out more towards health, but it could go up a little bit the other way because I do have greater purchasing power. But most likely, I'm going to substitute more of my money, more of my overall income into this healthy thing. And so we could say I move from 1 to 2. I'm more likely to move from 1 to 2. Okay. So 1 to 2 means that I'm substituting H for Z because of that lower price ratio. That difference in price has become more appealing to me. And then have an income effect for H. So I'm spending a greater amount of my overall income on H. Okay. So I'm seeing a nice big effect from 1 to 2 based on prices, the price change. And in an aside, the reason why a price incentive towards health is likely to be so effective is because the opportunity cost of health has fallen. Okay. Before, if gym memberships were $20 or $30, I'm giving up quite a bit of stuff to go do that gym membership. So let's say my other activity is eating out with friends, and I would do that multiple times a week. I'm looking at, well, I'm just going to eat with friends again because gym memberships are so expensive. The opportunity cost of a gym membership is $30 worth of good meals with my friends. That's a high opportunity cost. When the price of a gym membership goes down to $10, that opportunity cost isn't as high anymore. The opportunity cost goes down. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll eat out less with my friends. I'll take $10 and I'll shift it towards the gym membership. I can still eat out with my friends some of the time, but I'm going to do a little bit less of that. My opportunity cost of eating out, or my opportunity cost of the gym membership, has gone down. So whereas an income effect might lead me to eating out more and going to the brewery or the pub with my friends more, the price shock towards lower health prices is an additional incentive, a substitution incentive towards better health. Okay? So that's the main difference between the income shock and the price shock. And then finally, we're likely to see a similar shock out here for price. Okay. Now, two things. Let me highlight this. One thing, actually, let's do this a different way, because the price, if the price of this thing is going down, okay, the price of these M goods falls, okay? The price of healthy types of goods fall. Means that the opportunity cost of health, of being healthy, also falls. All right? So whereas before I showed a benefit shock, which indeed, if we're spending more on health, we would likely see a benefit shock. Let me show that in a different color. So we might see a benefit shock from our prices. Okay, so we might move from MB1 to MB2. That's what I showed before. But a even nicer shock to highlight here. One second. Okay. A nicer shock to highlight here is this opportunity cost shock. That means when our resources, it costs us less to invest in health. There's lower opportunity cost. And so the opportunity cost part relates not to the benefits, but to the cost curve. So the marginal costs are starting off here. But when the prices of healthcare or the prices of gym memberships or whatever, when they fall, that means the opportunity cost of investing them goes down. So really, the shock of lower prices is more directly a shock in our costs. We have less cost of being healthy now. So whereas if we were at point 1 before, now we move to point 2. So the cost indicator is we move from health level 1 here to health level 2. That could be the cost aspect, the lower cost aspect of lower prices. Now, again, we could extend it a bit more. And if, the lower price leads to more efficient health consumption, efficient health practices, okay, we start going to that gym and it kind of generates, better health now, which leads to better health later, which leads to better health practices, then we might move on from 2 all the way to 3. okay, which would be this is it, creating better health practices, better health efficiency. That's the MB shift. So the cost shift would be more direct. It lower prices affects our opportunity cost now. Through kind of lifestyle changes, it might move us all the way out here. It might be a double shock. And that's kind of the complexity of this graph, is that human behavior has to be affected in it. You know, human behavior is really this benefit side. What are the human behaviors? What are the psychological aspects of trying to be healthy? Okay. And it's tricky. It's tricky, but I hope I'm laying it out in a thoughtful way. And again, there's not necessarily always a clear example here. Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. I'm getting some emails. Okay. All right. So finally, let's see if I can do one more shock real quick. Okay. So I've kind of touched on it already. What if there's a direct shock on, say, this efficiency? So that's what I'm already kind of talking about, this efficiency in producing health. Okay. Well, the efficiency in producing health, given the same income and the same prices, maybe I start seeing I have greater interest. Maybe I get better education about being healthy, taking care of my body. Maybe I'm watching YouTube videos. Maybe I have a new healthy hobby or something like that. All these can happen regardless of my income or the prices. And I'm just getting more knowledgeable. What these do is they help me better turn time into health. Okay? If I'm better at turning time into health, my time that I'm spending on health and generating better health, this is kind of an efficiency thing. Okay? What it's saying is that my health, in economics terms, my health, it's affecting my health production function is improved. Okay? So when my health production function is improved, or it's more efficient, it's going to make my production of health, my PPF will shift out for health. So that's what I showed before. We had a little PPF. We have H here. We have Z here. So this is PPF1, where I'm not efficient. But through some cause, either watching videos or making new friends and generating a new interest in being healthy, okay, I'm better putting my time into health. And so what this allows me to do is I'm shifting my PPF out towards health. I'm not generating it towards other things. And now I have PPF2. Okay. So again, everything else being equal, maybe I move from, okay, well, this is PPF1. And let's say I'm at 0.1 here. That's my initial equilibrium. Due to my better efficiency, maybe I move from 1 to 2. Okay. And because now I can achieve PPF, things along PPF2. Okay. And then my marginal benefits, my marginal costs curve, again, it would shift out marginal benefits. So again, back to my thing here, it would shift this marginal benefit out because now I'm being more efficient in my usage. An alternative one, I think, which is an example in the book, would be some anti-aging drug, and that's a good one to put. So going back here, okay. So there's two things that we want to differentiate. So that more efficiency, so this would relate to greater efficiency. If I have greater efficiency, that's a marginal benefit shift, okay? Greater efficiency, that helps my marginal benefits shift up or out, okay? Now, a different, depending on how you word this, let's say I'm learning more efficient techniques. I'm also, when I'm getting more, I'm healthier, say more muscular, I have better posture. Those generate benefits in health, but they also alleviate the wear and tear of time. Okay? The wear and tear of time is a cost. Okay? And in this term, in this model, we call it depreciation. Okay? So if I can handle the wear and tear of time better, then I can handle this natural depreciation that occurs when you move from being a 20-year-old to a 40-year-old to a 60-year-old to an 80-year-old. So if there is some kind of magic cure that delays the effects of aging, then it would be something that is going into this box, lowering the marginal costs and depreciation of health, where it wouldn't necessarily be affecting my efficiency in generating health. So lower depreciation would lower my marginal costs, and it would allow me to generate greater health. Okay? Alternatively, we could say, you could argue that being more robust, more fit, allows you to recover from illnesses quicker. It would have both a marginal benefit and a lower marginal cost. Okay, so a lot of these things can do both. And I would say, in general, being healthier, doing these healthy practices, make me be able to recover from things much quicker. And that's the general, that's a general